All right, let's talk about a problem that, if you've ever been to a conference, you know it all too well. Information overload. Today, we're going to dive into how AI might just be on the verge of completely changing how we experience these huge events. And it all starts with a feeling I bet is very, very familiar.
You know the feeling, right? You're looking at the schedule and it's an impossible choice. The keynote you absolutely have to see is in Hall A, but a super practical workshop that could change how you work is in Hall B. You can only be in one place, which means you are guaranteed to miss something important.
And look, this isn't just a bit of personal FOMO. This is a fundamental challenge for the whole conference industry. It's called information overload, and it impacts everything: what you learn, the value organizers deliver, and what sponsors actually get for their money. So just how big of a deal is this really? So what's the real cost of this overload? I mean, it goes way beyond just a scheduling conflict. It creates some pretty big headaches for everyone. From us, the people in the seats, to the folks running the entire show.
When you really break it down, the problem hits from three different angles. For us, the attendees, we just flat out miss talks. For the organizers, all of that incredible content, the talks, the questions, it's just scattered. It's hard to find and really expensive to do anything useful with after the fact. And for the sponsors, it's really, really tough to show any lasting value after the banners come down.
Okay, so we've got the problem. Let's talk about the solution. A company called POMS, based in Dublin with an engineering team in Budapest, thinks they've cracked it. They've built what they call an AI supermemory for every event. Now, that's a pretty bold claim, so let's see what it's all about. Their tagline really just cuts right to the chase. We're there, even if you're not. Just think about that. Imagine not having to choose. Imagine if the conference itself had a perfect, searchable memory that you could tap into anytime. That's the whole idea. So what is this thing, technically speaking? POMS Conference AI is a back-end solution. Now, all that means is that it's not yet another app you have to download. It's a powerful engine that organizers can plug right into their own websites or event apps. It just works quietly in the background, capturing and organizing every single word. And now we get to the really cool part. How in the world does an AI create a super memory? Let's pop the hood for a second and see how this all works. How you go from a person talking on a stage to a powerful database you can ask questions. The process is actually brilliantly simple. So, step 1, you just record the audio from the talks. Step 2, in real time, that audio gets sent to multiple AI speech-to-text models, like Whisper and Google. By checking them against each other, they get super high accuracy. Then, step 3, all those transcripts get instantly organized into a knowledge base. And finally, step 4, it's all delivered to you in a simple little chat box where you can ask it anything. The power here really is in the details. It's not just about accurate transcription. It supports multiple languages, which means you could ask a question in English about a talk that was given in German. Sponsors can brand the chat interface and get real data on who's using it. And get this, to make sure the quality is perfect, they can even provide an on-site technician to handle the audio recording. That's a really unique touch. Okay, the tech is fantastic, but is it a good business? Let's take a look at the business model and see how it creates real value for everybody in the equation. Their main target market is, it's a no-brainer. Big industry conferences with tons of talks happening at once. That's where the pain is the sharpest. But you can see how this could apply almost anywhere. Think about corporate town halls, press events, or university classes. Imagine having searchable lecture notes. That's a game changer. The business model is pretty straightforward. Organizers get a base package with all the core stuff. Then they can pick from these high-value add-ons. And here's the really smart part. Those optional features, like sponsor branding and analytics, they create new ways for the conference organizers themselves to make money, not just for POMS. So to scale this whole thing up, they're seeking investment, and they've got a really clear plan. The biggest slice of the pie, 40%, goes right back into making the product even better. 30% is for getting the word out there, and the rest is for building a solid foundation to grow on. So, where does all of this lead? Well, the long-term vision here goes way, way beyond just the conference hall. It really points to a future where valuable knowledge is never lost again. They've mapped out their growth in 3 clear phases. Year 1 is about launching a few pilot projects in Europe to prove that the model works. From there, they'll scale up across the EU by building partnerships. And the final phase? Going global. It's an ambitious plan, but it's a really logical one. And this is where things get really wild. This core technology could be used almost anywhere spoken information needs to be captured. Think about searchable court records, automated lecture notes for every student, or even instant video recaps from a live sports game. But the biggest leap? Adding computer vision to analyze what's actually on the slides. You could literally ask, show me the chart with last year's sales figures. So, I'll just leave you with this one question. We started with a simple, kind of annoying frustration, missing a talk at a conference. But the solution points to something so much bigger. If every meeting, every lecture, every single presentation had a perfect, searchable memory, how would that fundamentally change the way we all learn, innovate, and share our ideas? It's a pretty powerful thought. Thanks for watching.